Hello, I'm Mark Castellino with Focus Magazine, and as part of our Focus Conversations, I'm here today with the artist Stanley Silver and his wife and biggest advocate, Karen.
Hello, Mark.
So, hello.
Hi.
Thanks for coming.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
So, first of all, Stanley, I want to ask you about your background. Are you from LA? How did you get into art? Can you tell us something about that?
I was born and raised in LA, and at an early age I was exposed to art. My mom was a sculptor, my parents were collectors, my grandfather was a big collector. We went to museums, we went to galleries. As I grew up, I gravitated towards drawing. They encouraged me from the get-go. They told me to just go with it and take classes, and I just fell in love with it. And as I grew up, I played sports like every other kid, and then I also did my art on the side. It was almost like a little secret hobby. Some of my friends knew, some of them didn't.
Right.
But as I got older, I got better, and people were saying, I have some talent, and pushed me towards the art field, which I was really comfortable doing.
How old were you when you did you go to college?
I did.
College,
Yeah, I went to University of Arizona. So I majored as an illustrator in college. And while I was still in college, I was able to get a couple of commissions from the Los Angeles Dodgers. And what was wonderful about it, I was able to marry my two passions, sports and art.
Great.
And yeah, it was very cool. I got a couple pieces from them. And I'm like, hey, this can work.
You have your book here. When did you publish this book?
That was 2 years ago.
2 years ago. And are there some celebrities in here too? I mean, they're not just sports related. Don't you also paint
Yes, I just...
people?
Yes, I paint musicians, I paint Hollywood icons, popular culture.
Yeah.
I have run a huge gamut of artwork.
And, tell me, wasn't your work in Entourage as well? How did that
Yes.
come about? How did that...
Karen?
Karen?
That came about. Oh, we a set designer on the show had seen some of Stanley's work and really enjoyed it and reached out to us and wanted to use some of his art for the show, and so we worked with her and built a relationship. She, used a bunch of the pieces on the show for the part of the permanent set for the season.
That's great. And what about you, Karen? Were you sort of always interested in art? Were you interested in art when you met Stanley?
Not really. I mean, I enjoyed art, but I knew nothing about art. Actually, when I had just moved to LA and on our in our beginnings of talking to each other, all I knew, because we were set up, was he's an artist, but my friend didn't tell me much about him.
Uh-huh.
And I had just moved here, and I had stained a bookcase, and I'm not artistic at all. And I was, we were talking, and I was like, I was proud of myself. I stained a bookcase red, and I was bragging about it, and then, and I'm like, when I finally saw his work, I was mortified. I'm like, I can't believe I was like, I'm an artist too.
Oh,
So,
no, it was...
I am not artistic.
It was great. She was describing the bookcase and said that she just painted it.
Yeah.
She was
I
like,
didn't know he was very talented.
and she
He
goes,
was sharpening pencils every time I talked to him.
She goes, would you like to come up and see it? And I was like, oh,
Not on the
right.
first day.
I was like,
Come
oh,
up and see my etchings.
Yeah,
Yes, it
I was like, oh yeah, I'll come upstairs and see your bookcase for sure.
Great. So tell us about this fantastic new thing that's just happened. So you just had a commission for the San Francisco 49ers, is that right?
Yes.
So tell us the story about that. How did that come about, and everything? Tell us the whole story.
There's a company called Sports and the Art, and they are the curators for the art collection at the 49ers new stadium.
Okay.
And they approached us about, possibly being a part of the project. And we, of course, said yes. We were thrilled to do it. I'm a big football fan.
That's great.
But what's pretty cool also is the painting he did of Levi Stadium was they turned it into, as well as the original that they have hanging in the suite, they turned it into a 20-foot by 40-foot graphic of his painting, and it's amazing to see. It's actually, they made it as the entrance to their museum. They have a whole museum with all kinds of memorabilia, and the entire wall is his image, as you enter the museum, which is really pretty
Fantastic.
cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it looks great. What was your feeling like when you saw that for the first time?
It was so cool. It was like I was honored, I was thrilled, I was
Yeah.
humbled.
Yeah.
I've never seen my work in such a large format before.
Right.
So I was like, oh, that's pretty cool.
Tell us about the trip. So you took your kids, the four of you went. How long did you spend there? What did they do? They show you around the stadium. They showed you your piece. Was that the first time you saw it? Just tell us the whole story.
Yeah, it's the first time we saw, both of us have seen the pieces since they left our studio, and it was so cool. It's always a nice thing. So
One thing that was really cool was throughout the entire event and throughout the whole stadium, all their screens, all their monitors on the big jumbotron, all the art was rotating. So to see all of his work
Yeah.
in the basic, like in the lights and in the, it was really cool. Our kids would be like, "There's his painting, there's his and it was really, that was pretty cool to see.
What's your goal? Let's say, what do you want to be doing in 5 or 6 years time? Are you pushing yourself to do different things, different styles? Are you exploring different mediums?
always, yes, it's a very good question. I'm always trying to create new styles, new ways of painting. Recently, I've started doing more three-dimensional and found objects, where I'll put, from utilizing pencils to baseballs to some outside element and use it and make it like a little bit more of a relief versus a two-dimensional piece.
Yeah, I'm going to ask you a question about art in general. So what would you say to a budding artist? I mean, you've been through this, you made a career out of it. If someone said to me, if my daughter said to me, which she has said, by the way, I want to be an artist, what do you say to a budding artist?
It's a dream, and you're chasing a dream. And I think that you should. It's going to be it could be a tough road. You'll have your ups and downs, but it's extremely rewarding. You get to create every day, and it's something that you're passionate about. And when you're passionate about something in life, you're going to succeed.